Hello, this is Tom Green. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I had a pretty good day today in quarantine. I just made myself a nice lunch, stir fry. I fried up a can of green beans with some soy sauce. I fried it up in a wok with a full onion and some garlic, all chopped up, fried up with soy sauce and some butter. And then I threw in a couple of chicken breasts, chopped those all up, fried it up some more, and then poured it over on a bed of rice with a little salt and pepper, and it was delicious. And I'm proud of myself. I think by the time this quarantine is over, I'm going to be a really good cook. Thank you, everybody who's been listening to the show. The numbers are going up, up, up. So obviously, you are telling your friends to listen, and I appreciate it. You can subscribe too, so you don't miss an episode. It's free. Just hit subscribe anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Today on the show, we're jumping right into it with my good friend, Pauly Shore. I've known Pauly since I was on MTV in 1999, so I probably met him right around that time. He wasn't on MTV anymore in 1999, but he had basically changed MTV and became a household name with his wild and unpredictable antics in the early 90s. He also went on to make many, many movies and is now touring, doing stand-up comedy when we're not in a pandemic. He calls in today from quarantine in some exotic place. I'll let him tell you where he is. Pauly Shore, how are you, buddy? Are you doing okay? We're in a pandemic. How are you?
I'm not good, dude. I'm in the backwoods of Afghanistan, dude. It's the only place that has no known cases of the virus. I'm just trying to get away from it. Because of my karma and all the bad things that I've done in my life, I truly feel God's going to put it on me. So I'm trying to stay away from all the supermarkets in WeHo, bro.
Yeah. Afghanistan. That's probably not the first place I would imagine that you went. Are you sure you're not somewhere else, somewhere more exotic?
Oh yeah, Maui. Sorry, Maui.
Maui. Okay, Maui. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd heard you mention that the other day. How's Maui? Is there coronavirus? Are people isolating there? Are you allowed to leave your house in Maui?
I actually got a $5,000 ticket being on the beach yesterday.
Whoa, really? Okay, well, yeah.
It wasn't because of the virus. They just didn't like my body.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Man, okay. Well, what? How long are you going to be there?
Till the coast is clear, bro.
Are there no more flights back? Are you there permanently until this is over, or how's that work?
But what happened is when I felt like the whole world was crumbling about 2-3 weeks ago, I'd say 3 weeks ago, I have a girlfriend of mine that lives out here, and we've been meaning to spend some time together, as you know, men and women do. They spend time together, right?
Yep.
So
sure. Yep.
I'm like, fuck it, I'm coming out there. So I just got a one-way ticket to Maui, and then once I got here, a week later, then they did all that quarantine shit. So I snuck under the radar before that.
So this is sort of a big commitment now, though. Now you're quarantining with this lady that you are friends with.
Pretty much.
How's that going?
It's actually pretty good, believe it or not. We're really getting along, and I met her, about 3-4 months ago when I was performing here in Maui. She was at my show with some friends, and we've just, we stayed in touch, and we actually really get along. We're really, really compatible. It's pretty interesting. We're not like sick of each other, so.
This could be one of these stories where something life-changing comes from this. You end up quarantining with someone you met 3 months ago. It could change your life.
You know what, Tom? That's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it's time for me to impregnate this chick, right? What do you say?
I don't know. She might want to. You might want to ask her first.
Yeah, I'd rather just impregnate her.
My opinion may not matter in this instance, but yeah. Well, geez. So are you missing doing stand up? How's everything with that? I mean, it's a strange thing, isn't it, to not be on the road telling jokes?
It's terrible, and every time I look at, like last night, I was watching the Dave Chappelle, Mark Twain special on Netflix. I don't know if you saw it. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really good. It's a great, great special. But it was like I was watching him on stage, and there were people laughing in the audience. He was doing some shows from the Improv in Washington, and people are laughing. I'm like, holy fuck, dude, are we ever going to be able to experience that again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like fucking weird, you know? Like, you don't want to be playing the Funny Bone in 3 months, and they're like, yeah, you know, we're selling tickets to every fifth seat. You know what I mean?
I mean, what's going to happen? Do you know when they're going to open up again?
I guess when Trader Joe's opens up, that's when they'll open up. You know, I mean, it's pretty much all the restaurants and bars. I think that's when the timing, you know, it is. It'll open back up. I mean, that's just kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's up to our president, Donald Trump. So he said it's going to happen on Easter Sunday, so it should be next week, right?
Yeah, that's what they're predicting. That's what he's saying. Well, we can all look forward to that. How do you feel being stuck in your house all day, though? What are you doing to occupy yourself?
Well, I have this show that I've been doing. It's called Quarantine with My Ex on Maui.
Okay,
and
yeah.
my girlfriend, Asha, she plays my ex-girlfriend. So it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's scripted. I have a camera guy that lives out here, David, who's really good. And in every episode, comedians call in, but no one plays themselves. Like tomorrow's episode is Ian Edwards. He calls in, FaceTimes, and he plays a friend of mine that got fired from Staples, and he wants me to hook him up with a job at Trader Joe's in Silver Lake because he knows I know the people there. Nice. And then Jeff Ross called in. He plays my business manager. He tells me I just lost all my Chipotle stock, you know.
So you're you're shooting this now.
Call in. You'll do a call in.
Oh yeah, I want to call in. Yeah. You're just shooting this now.
No. Yeah, it airs every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh,
so
okay.
This last Monday, Eric Griffin, he called in and he played my best friend Leonard from the gym at Gold's Gym, and he found out that I fucked his ex-girlfriend, and he says, "You're lucky I'm Maui, otherwise I'd kick the shit out of you."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So everyone plays different characters. So I got to come up with a character for you to call in, but everyone FaceTimes. They FaceTime, and then after that we go into the scripted kind of sketch, you know. So it's fun. So that's how I'm occupying my time. I'm doing a show called Pauly Shore's Quarantine with his ex on Maui. So
nice. Is this sort of a spin-off of Random Rants?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, because I can't do Random Rants because, you know, it's the 6 feet social distancing, and I'm not there. You know, I need my whole crew when I'm doing Random Rants.
Yeah,
you know? I definitely
definitely
want to get you on. It was funny. After Harlan did it, he's like, "Dude, Tom's gonna love this. You got to call Tom."
I know. I've been watching. I've been watching it. I've been wondering, you know, when you were going to invite me.
Yeah, of course. You're one of my best friends. We've known each other for 20-something years.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Absolutely.
Remember we used to do all that goofy stuff up at my house like 15 years ago?
Yeah, and then we did it before that on MTV together. So it's like me and you are kind of like the pioneers of this shit.
Yeah, it's weird how things have changed, and now we're in a pandemic and we can't leave our homes. It used to be so much simpler back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was, you know, the freedom that we had back then. You know, we're never looking over our shoulder. You know, we weren't, you know, thinking. We were just kind of like fucking around. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I want to try to keep optimism. Hopefully, after this does end, you know, we as humans and people, we're going to appreciate things more. It's like now you flip to, you know, 20 years later, you know, we're all kind of quarantined and locked in. But I think it's similar to prison. You know, I assume if you go to prison, when you get out of prison, you know, you'll see a McDonald's and you'll be like, fuck, I just need a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I think like when we get out of this shit, we go to Starbucks, we're going to appreciate it more. I think at the end of the day, you know, we're going to become closer, you know, as humans with each other and a little bit more respectful for one another. It's just my feeling I get. And then, you know, us as comedians, you know, we have such an important position in this world to bring laughter to this fucking time that, you know, everyone got stuck in this thing. I mean, everyone's going to have so much material. I just hope that, when we go work our clubs, they're not going to only sell one ticket to each table,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll take a little time to get back to the way it was, but I think we'll get back there. How old were you when you started on MTV? How old were you at that? You were in your 20s, right?
Yeah, in my 20s, yeah.
I mean, when you first ended up on MTV, that was, of course, nothing like it is today with with the internet. There was no internet, right? So you're on MTV. You're going out in the street. You're doing crazy interviews with Sam
Pauly,
Kinison and all sorts of incredible people and all the big musicians and stars, all the metal. You were mostly in L.A. doing that, right? You were in L.A.
Yeah, we were on the streets of L.A. for a while, and then after a while, we started to branch out to America, and then after that, then I went overseas.
I mean, do you miss those days ever? Do you ever miss those days?
Yeah.
Pre-internet? Not even just about what you were doing, but just generally no internet. You watch television. Everyone's watching the same shows. Everyone's talking about the same stuff. Do you miss that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's that's how it was back then. Now, back in the old days, you want to get in the entertainment business, you go to New York or L.A. Now you can go to fucking Iowa,
Yeah.
And, and I say the good part about the internet is anyone could be on it. The bad part about the internet is anyone could be on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's sort of hard to figure out what to look at, what to watch. But back when you were on MTV, that was before I was on MTV. You were on the MTV in the 80s, right? Or the early 90s?
No, it was it was the early 90s. It was like 90 to 96, 97. Yeah.
90 to 97. Okay, yeah, I came on in 99, just after you'd stopped there.
Wow.
But it was a completely different time still in 1999. There was internet, but there was no video on the internet. And everybody...
No, it was really slow.
Yeah.
It was really slow.
Yeah. Everybody was watching, though. Everybody was watching.
It was, when the Michael Jackson video came on, Thriller or Madonna's video came on, it was a big deal. Everyone would, oh shit, at 3:00 they're doing the countdown for, Michael Jackson's new video or Guns N' Roses' November Rain, is coming out. So, yeah, I mean, those were happier times, but what are you going to do? We got to just keep moving forward, right?
So were you hanging out with Guns N' Roses in the peak days?
I wouldn't say I was hanging. I knew Slash kind of well because of, he went to Fairfax High and I went to Beverly High. And so I'd see him around. Matt Sorum is a good friend of mine. I'm sure you know Matt.
Yeah.
And Axel, I wasn't really around him. He was always by himself, so I never really... I saw Axel, he was at the MTV Awards with Kurt Cobain when they got in that fight backstage at the Pauly Pavilion years ago.
Did you witness that fight?
I kind of did, yeah. I kind of saw that.
So what went down there?
I think Axel just was pissed off at Kurt Cobain. I don't know. He just threw something at him, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just Axel was being Axel. He was wild. I mean, you would see music videos of him. He'd throw shit in the audience. So he was just kind of like that. I don't know if Kurt Cobain was taunting him, like fucking with him, like making fun of him or something. I'm not quite sure. But Andrew Dice Clay was back there, and it was like kind of Jeff Kravitz, the photographer, was back there.
Was that the year that Dice got in some trouble at the MTV Awards?
I might have been. It might have been. Or his was a couple of years after. Maybe it was a couple of years after that. Yeah. This one was at the Pauly Pavilion, and then I think Dice was at the Universal Amphitheater. That
was our good friend Andrew Dice Clay, who had that legendary moment at MTV where he got banned from MTV. Which is, I think, a badge of honor, right? To get banned from MTV.
It was great when they did the MTV Awards at the Universal Amphitheater. It was always such a big deal. I remember after Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens got caught jerking off, he came out and he says, "Have you heard any good stories lately?"
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
I remember that. So growing up in Los Angeles, you're in high school in the 80s, right?
Yeah, 1982, Beverly Hills High School. Oingo Boingo was playing my swim gym.
Okay, was that the coolest place to be in the 1980s in high school in Los Angeles?
Absolutely. It was a fucking party. every kid had rich parents. Every kid was rich. Everyone had a BMW. Everyone was smoking weed and going to the beach and going to clubs like Florentine Gardens or like the Odyssey. I was hanging out with Patricia Arquette, Donovan Leitch, all those guys. The Beastie Boys. Because Adam Horowitz was going out with Ione Skye, who was Donovan's sister. And also she was going out with Anthony Kiedis from the Chili Peppers. So we all used to hang out at Donovan's house on Wilton, and it was just like a hang, and that's what it was. Max Perlich, remember Max Perlich?
Yeah.
Hilarious, right? Remember him in all those movies?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Absolutely. Yeah. Was he a buddy of yours?
Great. Yeah, he was a great actor. Dude, you remember Christian Glover? Holy fuck.
Well, sure, yeah. I know Crispin has come up to the web show here quite a few times over the years. Did you know him?
Oh,
was he living in
yeah,
LA then?
He was
Yeah,
he was a big hot spot. He used to ride around on his bicycle around town. That was his thing.
Well, sure, yeah, absolutely. So then you'd go to when you're in high school in the 80s, do you go in Los Angeles? Do you go to the nightclubs? Do you go see, White Snake perform at the Whiskey? Do you go see, Poison performing at the Whiskey?
Well, yeah, one of my best concerts that I ever went to was the English Beat opening for the Clash, 1982. At the Hollywood Palladium.
Okay, nice. Well, that sounds like the kind of concert I'd like to be at. The Clash, amazing. Right in there.
Fucking amazing.
Right in their prime in Los Angeles.
Hey, let me ask you something. I don't know. Do you ever talk about your ex-wife at all? Because I have a story about her.
I don't really talk about it too much on the podcast. And when I say not too much, I basically mean never. Just out of respect to her. Just out of respect to her, to be honest with you. I don't really think she likes me, nor would I like her going around blabbing about stuff.
Well, yeah, just because her mom used to be a waitress at the Comedy Store in Westwood.
I knew that. I did know that. Yes, I know her mom was very nice. Yeah. I'd like to hear the story later, though. You can definitely tell me the story when we get off the show.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. So anyway,
look at me like totally like everyone wants to hear the story, and I'm like ruining it. I'm totally ruining it.
No, it wasn't. There was nothing bad. It was just that's where I met Drew when she was little. I have been around, Barrymore's. Barrymore's used to. I think across the street from the Comedy Store, there was my mom owned this restaurant called Thai Us.
Okay, if it's it's a nice story, then go ahead and tell it because I don't want everybody to be mad.
Yeah. No. And there was a restaurant called Barrymore's.
Yeah.
And it was named after, her grandfather, right?
Sure.
Is it her Yeah. And
one of the most legendary actors of all time, her grandfather. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when Drew was little, we all knew each other. I mean, I was friends with Brad Pitt and Johnny Depp and all those guys because we all started. David Arquette.
Yeah.
We all started at that same time. It was in the late 80s. Even Leonardo DiCaprio, I knew when he first started. When he was 14 years old, I met him.
Whatever happened to those guys anyways? They never really turned out to do too much, did they?
Yeah, well, they fucking got careers, and we went to MTV and fucked up our careers.
Hey, we're doing fine, man. We're doing fine. I've got a podcast here, and you've got a podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Exactly.
We're doing real good. You're in Maui quarantining with some nice lady that you met a few months ago. That sounds like you're doing pretty good.
You know what? There's worse places to quarantine. I'm just fortunate that I'm able to do it and I'm able to kind of be over here. And the good part about being over here is it's very inexpensive right now, believe it or not. All the hotels are closed. The restaurants are closed. There's zero tourists on this island. I think I'm the only tourist on this fucking island.
Yeah. So I mean, does it feel like there's a pandemic going on though, or is it when you go out? You said you go out you're not allowed on the beach, right? You're not allowed on the beach.
I call it a semi-demic.
Yeah.
It's like semi out here. but people aren't freaking out as much. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice place to be for sure. Well, listen, Pauly, I appreciate you calling. These are, I told you it would just be about a 20-minute chat. It's about what we keep the podcast, keep it moving. I know you're probably busy out there with your friend and quarantining. Where can people see the show?
All over TomGreen.com. TomGreen.com.
Oh.
Just go to that and you'll see pictures of. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah.
No, go to Pauly Shore's my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook and what else is there? Fuck, I don't know. All that stuff. Yeah.
So go to the
Instagram,
social media. It'll be there. There'll be links. This is happening now. Quarantining
also,
with your ex.
Yeah, I'm also excited. My podcast, Random Rants, just got picked up by All Things Comedy.
Oh, amazing!
I'm moving all my stuff over there. And the Random Rants is going to be over there, and I'm excited because I love Brenton Biddlecombe, who's in charge of their social media, who was at the Comedy Store for many years doing the social. He's going to help us out, and I'm going to see how it goes over there. I'm excited. I love All Things Comedy, and Bill Burr and Al Magical are friends, and everyone over there seems really nice. So I'm going to give that a shot. It'll be cool.
Congratulations. They're the greatest. That's incredible. Oh, good. Well, I wish you all the best with that, Pauly. Good luck with that. And
why don't we do this? You could be my first guest on Random Rants when I come back home and we're back up in business. What do you think about that shit?
It would be my honor. Absolutely.
That'd be good.
I would love to do that. Okay. Well, let's do it for sure. Be safe, buddy. Okay.
All right, buddy. Tell Harlan Williams to stop trying to touch my penis when he sees me in public.
Okay, I will let him know. A big thank you to Pauly Shore for calling in from Maui, where he's in quarantine until the end of this pandemic. Wow, can you believe it? We're in a pandemic. Listen, I'm going to keep podcasting if you keep listening. So tell your friends to subscribe. I appreciate you doing it. I want to give you a little update. I'm getting some new cameras. I got a new light. I got this really cool light. You got to check it out. It's called a roto light, okay? And I've got these lights that I'm setting up in my studio, and they're going to look great. And we're going to put cameras on it, and we're going to multicam stream out there to you on my YouTube channel and on other places that we stream. You'll be able to watch and listen at the same time. It's going to be confusing. I'm not going to know what to do. Do I look? Do I listen? What do we do? But that's what it is. It's a television radio hybrid. It's called podcasting, and it's the wave of the future. I'm going to be posting a lot of fun clips on my YouTube channel as well over the next few weeks. Go to youtube.com/Tom Green. I'm going through the archives and finding some old clips from Webovision, which is my early internet streaming talk show that I did from around 2003 till around 2010. And had a lot of amazing guests on that show over the years, and I'm going to pick through some of the best of them and give you some clips and go back in time to the early days of web broadcasting before podcasting was called podcasting. It's so much fun. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all the other stuff. I just want to say thank you for being here for me, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I appreciate you being here for me. It's been cathartic for me to go on the air and vent every day into this microphone, and just knowing that you're there listening means a lot. I appreciate all your comments on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I read them all, and I appreciate them all. So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.